Good morning and welcome to the Your Natural Healer channel. My name is Tammy and it is Tuesday, and so therefore this is the newest episode of Tuesday's Enlightenment. For those of you who are frequent viewers of the channel, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Anyone that is new, if this is the first time, welcome. I hope you get something out of this. It's not rehearsed. Tuesday's Enlightenment, I just go with it. I'm trying to tell you what I know. Sometimes I do have a few crib notes just so I don't get distracted, because especially if I talk about crystals or Reiki, I can get way off on a tangent. But anyway, welcome. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, and this, I always say this, and it's not just for me, it's for anybody that you watch regularly on YouTube, smash the like button or the subscribe button, smash it, because that algorithm you hear about, it is true. And for those of us that, put out content regularly, it really does help support our channel. I know somebody said to me, oh, well, you get paid. No, you do not get paid till you have 1,000 subscribers, and you have to have so much watch time. So I'm a long way off from this at the point where I'm making this. But anyway, if you can smash that subscribe button, turn off notifications, that's fine. You won't offend me. I get it. You don't want your phone blowing up. And anyway, that's all I have to say about that. If you go ahead, leave a thumbs up at the end. And I just ask, if you leave a comment, just be kind. The world is too filled with negativity. And if you're here watching this, you're obviously not a negative person. But this doesn't go just for my channel. It goes for any channel. You will see some ridiculous stuff sometimes on YouTube, or some really, I hate to call it stupid stuff, but excuse me, whatever. If you don't like it, just move on. Don't give it the thumbs down. Don't leave a negative comment, because there's people obviously out there that like whatever it is you don't like. So, you know what? Spread joy, good vibes. It goes a long way. All right, so enough about that. So this morning I wanted to talk a little bit about meditation. And for those that watch my channel, whether you watch this or you watch any of the meditation videos or my tarot oracle readings, if you take my classes online, you will hear me always say meditate, 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 meditate. And the reason why is because when we meditate, we are one with everything and anything in this universe. And it's not just that connection, but also it really does something, it really clears the mind, releases, bad energy. And it does a lot of great things. It can reduce stress and anxiety, and that's all the physical things. I mean, it really can do so much for you. If you're, uncertain about something, meditating on it, you may get signs and symbols and what have you. It's just, meditation is really, and it doesn't matter what religion you are, if you're male or female, your age. Meditation is good for anybody. It is good for you physically, emotionally, and mentally. Now, the big thing I always hear, well, I can't sit for an hour at a time. You don't have to meditate for an hour. I like to tell everybody 15, 20, I prefer 20 to 30 minutes, but if you can only do 10, 15, everybody in this world can spare 10 minutes. We easily spend 10 minutes of our time every day goofing off on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, or we're on a Netflix and we're binge watching some show, or you're playing a video game on your phone. We have 10 minutes. So there's no excuse for anybody. If you can't give yourself, or you sit there and say, oh, my family will bother me. Excuse me. Your family loves you. And if you tell them, look, I need 10 minutes of quiet time where I am not bothered, your family is going to do that for you because they love you. You just have to express it. And if you don't express it, how do they know? And if they see you doing that, especially if you have kids, they may start, eventually meditating and making that a practice of theirs. So I know everybody's, oh, I can't sit for that long, and thoughts run through my head, and I get that. And that's why I always tell people, if a thought pops up in your head, it happens. It happens to me. Or if you're constantly where you're trying to meditate, you've been sitting there for 3 or 4 minutes, and all you keep thinking is stuff you got to do, or maybe a memory pops up in your head, and then you start thinking about things. That's called monkey mind. And that happens to me too, okay? And you just have to learn to train yourself when those things happen, when a thought pops into your head. I always say, take a deep breath in, think of that thought as a bubble or a cloud, and as you exhale, envision that thought in a cloud just floating away. And it really does work. And then if you've got monkey mind and you just got all these thoughts in your head, take it back to your breathing, in and out. Just really relax. And once you focus on that breathing, it takes your mind off of those thoughts, because now your mind is doing that mind-body connection. So that is 2 ways that during a meditation, how you really can help yourself stay in that space, in that energy. Now, if you're just starting out, and my husband, and he's like, why do you always got to talk about me in your videos? Well, because you're my case study. But my husband will talk about, he can't sit for longer than a couple minutes. Well, sometimes, yeah, that is true. And the best way to do that, if you're somebody that you just absolutely can't be still, then what you need to do is set a timer on your phone. Start with 1 minute. 60 seconds, honestly. You ever do that thing where, you set the timer and you have to be quiet for a whole minute and it seems endless? I mean, a minute, is really long, and it's really short depending on what you're doing. But set a timer for a minute. And then just quiet your mind for that 1 minute. Close your eyes. Just focus on breathing for a minute, because you're not going to get a lot done in a minute. Just focus on in through the nose and out through the mouth. In and out. And then when that timer goes off, you're done. Do that for a couple days, even a week at the most, I would say. And bump it up to 2 minutes. And again, focus on the breathing. And then if you can then just take your mind off the breathing and then just really focus on nothing. And for me, it's hard for me to explain how I do it. It took me a while to really clear my mind, but it's almost like my eyes turn inside and I try to imagine a line going through the top of my head and then a line going, through my head here, and then where it meets in the middle. And this is a meditation technique, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the terminology right now, but I try to think of that point where it intersects, which is like in the center of your brain. And I really try to focus on that point, and that, oh my gosh, helps me so much. But that is an advanced technique, and I hope to actually offer a course on that, because like I said, it is really a technical technique. But, just clear the mind. And in that 2 minutes, if you get the monkey mind, try to breathe it out. And then again, a couple days, maybe a week, take it to 3 minutes or double it to 4 minutes. And you can either just keep adding a minute or you can double it. And the next thing you know, you're going to be at 30 minutes. For me, 30 minutes is optimal, but it really depends, because I do try to meditate twice a day. But my morning meditation is a little different because it's centered on strengthening my Reiki. And it is a Japanese technique. And sometimes, for me, that I can do it in 10 minutes. Other times I've spent 30, 40 minutes in that. And then in the evening, I usually try something else. I either use a crystal to, utilize that energy. Maybe I'm working on connecting with my guides. Maybe I have a problem and I'm trying to meditate on that. Maybe some past life stuff. It just depends. You can meditate on anything and nothing. I've just sat there for 20 minutes, absolutely quiet. Now, that is the optimal type of meditation. Now, other forms of meditation you can look at, things like I play the singing bowls. That's wonderful. I mean, yeah, you're doing something, but it's like just your mind goes absolutely blank. And if you close your eyes while you're playing, it is like a trip. But there's other ways to meditate too, especially if it's like on a day. For me, the hardest day for me to meditate is Saturdays, just because I'm off my schedule and I got a lot of things to do. But things like gardening or fishing, things like that can be also a type of meditation. Painting, if you have a hobby that you're able just to not think about anything and just be in that present moment. Now, I wouldn't say every day that use your gardening as your meditation, because you really do want to have sessions where you are just, your mind is quiet. You're not focused on having to do anything like planting or painting or what have you. And the neat thing about meditation too is people be like, well, what does it mean when I see colors? Or what does it mean if I see like a kaleidoscope or I see a symbol? Well, I don't know. What's it mean to you? Because now I'm not talking symbology. Like, you know, if you have a dream and you see snake in a dream, a lot of times snakes have to deal with change and things like that. Or one we all know, butterflies. Butterflies is about transformation as well. I'm not talking about like that going, well, I don't know. When you meditate, you're usually getting messages from your guides, other realms, whatever you want to call it, source, the universe. And what the colors mean to you, it's a personal thing, because I can't tell you what your angels, your guides are trying to tell you. So like, for example, I did this one meditation once. It was a 10-minute, it was incredible meditation for my 8th chakra. And I'm not going to get too into it because it is a course I'm going to eventually teach. But in that 8 minutes, the things that I saw in my mind's eye, you know, in my third eye, the things that I saw, and there was no emotion, but I felt like I was flying. It was just really cool. But my point, I guess what I'm trying to make with that is that for everybody, it's different. And you may experience something in a meditation, like a color or a symbol. I've had a symbol once. I drew it down in my, actually it wasn't in my meditation book. I had written it down. I tried for days to figure out what the symbol was, and I've never seen it. So I still don't know what it is, but that's why journaling. And if you haven't watched my video on spiritual journals, watch it, because I'm not going to go into it here, but that is why a meditation journal is important, because, you know, you may see something when you're meditating, or I'll draw pictures in my book. Like I'll see like little, like almost like starbursts, but it's all like little dots. But it's like, it reminds you of a starburst, but it's comprised of dots instead of lines. And so I'll draw what I see, and I'm not an artist by no means. And then I'll write like if it was gold or if it was different colors. You know, sometimes you may see like almost like smoky, you know, maybe green or yellows. Sometimes you'll see faces, or like, you know, I'll see like a real faint eye, and it's like a female eye. And, you know, different things present themselves different ways to you. And while something might not mean something to you right then and there after the meditation, It could be a month down the road and you go, oh my gosh, I remember I had this meditation. And if you don't have it written down, you're not going to remember. So that's why I said it's critical. Always write it down. And like for me, if I have a session where I have monkey mind or it's just totally quiet, no thoughts, no colors, no sounds, no symbols, just utter peace and quiet, tranquility, I'll just write in my book. I usually write nothing. And that's not nothing, but I'm not going to sit there and write a whole paragraph on that. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything. There's no colors and shapes. I just write nothing. And I know what that means for me. So when I have people ask me, hey, I saw this, what does this mean? It could mean lots of different things to lots of different people. It is different than dream symbology. So maybe that's something we'll talk about in the future too on one of the Tuesday Enlightenments, because, messages we receive in dreams, it could be similar. Like I said, if you do see a snake in your meditation, it could mean that change is coming, but it doesn't have to be. And that's why I always say, you're going to know what feels right. If somebody says to you, oh, that means change, and you're like, it's not what it felt like when I was meditating, then that's probably not what it is. Maybe either you're being told to be careful for snakes. I don't know. It just, again, it depends. Write it down. Write it down. All right. So one last thing I want to talk about, because we're about 17 minutes in, and I'm trying not to make these more than a 30-minute talk here, is types of meditation. Now, we talked about the traditional meditation. And like I said, there are other types, things like yoga. Yoga's one, I've tried it a couple times, and I really enjoyed it, but for me, that's a workout. I'm sweating bullets, trying to tree pose, and I don't know how anybody can meditate doing that. Y'all got to be in like perfect flexibility and balance, and obviously a lot of practice, but for me, yoga is not a way to meditate. But yoga is a way to meditate. Tai Chi. Let's see some other ways that we can talk about meditating. Music. Oh, I totally forgot about music. Setting your space, maybe putting out some candles or incense, diffusing some essential oils. Those all stimulate our chakras in different ways. But music. Now, on YouTube, there are probably millions of different channels that have music. Just be careful. Because I'm always weirded out. Like, is somebody going to be putting subliminal messages in it? So I have just a few go-tos that I totally trust. And this is something I am going to talk about on another Tuesday's Enlightenment, are the different frequencies and what they mean, and binaural beats and such. So music is a great way. But if you don't know anything about frequencies or the solfeggio frequencies or the Schumann resonance, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to get you all attuned to all of that, so you can make informed choices. But if you just put on meditation music and you hear the babbling brook, which water has to deal with, it's the sound of our sacral chakra. So anytime you hear music that has like rain in the background or a babbling brook, you don't realize it, but that's activating and strengthening and healing your sacral chakra. So, any type of music like that. Be careful with music though. And this is something I was going to start this week, but I think I'm going to start it next week, is talking about words and music. And we're going to talk about the work of Dr. Emoto. It's probably going to be a couple of, probably like a series on that, because there's a lot to be said. I'm really excited to talk to you about those things. So just be careful with your music, because I was a metalhead. I mean, I still love heavy metal, and I used to listen to it constantly. I would say in the last year, I hardly listen to it. After learning everything that I've learned about words, and I don't want to go into it now because I'll get off on a tangent and then it's going to be an hour and 20 minutes later before I finish. But just be careful of the music you listen to. And I'm not talking about, oh, it's satanic and all that. I mean, some of it is, but that's not what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm talking about our vibration. You know, you don't want to bring down your vibration. So music, anyway, I've digressed. Music is a great way. Another great way is meditating is if you're having difficulty keeping your mind focused, or, you know, being able to sit for, I was gonna say hours at a time. If you can't sit for more than maybe 10 minutes, guided meditations. There are lots of guided meditations on YouTube. There's some on the Your Natural Healer channel, and there's a lot more coming. Plug. But there are guided meditations for everything and anything. And again, you just got to find who and what works for you. I hope that mine will work for you, obviously. Got to plug my channel. But, you know, you just want to make sure that you, when you do a guided meditation, that it's somebody that, you know, you feel comfortable with. And for me, you've got to have a little bit of a connection. You know, you don't want it to sound like that somebody's just reading from a script, because there's a lot out there where they're just reading from a script and it's like, you're not even guiding me through anything. You're just talking. And that's not what I'm looking for. So just, you know, do your due diligence. But the Your Natural Healer channel has some great meditations currently, and more are going to start to be added on a more regular basis, since I'm getting a lot of support and a lot of great feedback on the channel. And if there is something, again, if there's something you'd like a meditation on, or something you would like me to talk about on a Tuesday's Enlightenment, either put it in the comments below, or you can email me. Always feel free to email me, and that's Tammy, Tammy, at yournaturalhealer.com. Or you can message me on Facebook as well, or leave a post on there saying, hey, Tammy, I'd love to hear about this, or what are your thoughts on that? And sure, we could talk about that. But again, back to the meditation. See, I digress when I go off script. Well, I'm not on a script. See, I have my little remote in my hand for the camera, and that is it. But I just wanted to let you know a little bit about meditation, and, you know, how to really get started. And don't think that if you go into it and, you know, you can't get past 2 minutes and, oh my gosh, I can't do this, and you give up. Don't give up. I promise you, after the first time you meditate, you are going to feel the difference immediately. And then once you get into the habit and get into a routine of meditating, you are going to miss it on the days that you skip it for whatever reason. I know this weekend, I was really busy on Sunday, or I didn't get to meditate Saturday. And so Sunday, Ed and I, we were really busy doing things. It was like about 3:30 and I was really getting crabby. And I knew why. I need to meditate. I need to center my energy every day and recharge it. So I said to Ed, I said, do you really mind if I go meditate for a while? And he's like, no, that's fine. It was beautiful out. So I took a couple of singing bowls down to the far end of our property, because we're kind of in the forest. And while the trees and stuff were still brown, there's no leaves, you know, I could hear the cows, I could hear donkeys, I could hear the birds, the wind was blowing, not real bad, but it was a nice breeze. And it was really, really therapeutic. Walking, that's another way to meditate. I can't believe I forgot about walking. Walking, or even exercise. The thing though with walking is put your phone in your pocket. Not with the earbuds in, listening to music. When you are doing meditative walking, I do not want you to have earbuds in. I want you listening to the sounds of nature. I don't care if you live in the middle of New York City. I want you to hear the cars beeping and the chatter of the people and the planes flying overhead and the subway, the shaking. Experience the present moment when you meditate. Put the darn phones down, okay? What else did I want to say about meditating? I think that's it, because I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to make this too long. And I just wanted to get you jazzed up a little bit that we will talk about frequency in the future, especially solfeggio frequencies as well, Schumann resonance. We'll talk about binaural beats. And the one that I'm going to do about words, like I said, that's going to probably be a series. And I think that's it. So I need to go finish getting ready this morning. So thank you for watching. Again, please subscribe if you haven't. If you haven't, give it a thumbs up. Leave a mess. If you leave a comment, be kind. You can follow me on Facebook at Your Natural Healer. I'm also on Instagram, and that's your.natural.healer. I haven't done a whole lot with that yet. I'm bad on Instagram. I don't care for that platform a whole lot, but I need to do it. So you can follow me there as well. And also, if you're interested in some personal services, go to yournaturalhealer.com, click on the services tab. There are all different types of distance Reiki. There are all different types of tarot and oracle card readings. There's a ton of different astrology and numerology reports, everything from life path charts or life path reports to your birth chart analysis, to there's a 6-month horoscope I can prepare. There's lots of things there. So, poke around a little bit, see if something interests you. And if so, go ahead and sign up for it. And that's all I have to say right now. So it is Tuesday. So therefore, I will see you guys on Friday morning for your oracle message. So again, thank you for supporting the channel. Go have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'm going to go get a cup of coffee, another cup. And that's all I have for you guys today. So thank you again for supporting me, and go live your best life, but do it the natural way. Namaste. Bye.